Welcome to the Wake Up Dad Show, a Daddiest production. This podcast is for you, Dad. This is where we talk about all things related to dadhood, from parenting to relationships to financial and physical health. Your hosts, Dr. Scott and Dr. Evan, are two dads who are committed to helping you. Join our Facebook community by searching Daddiest, where conscious dads connect and collaborate. Hey, dads. Welcome to another episode of the Wake Up Dad Show, brought to you by Daddiest. I'm here with the co-host Scott Vatcher, and I am the other host, Evan. So good to have you on the call on the podcast tonight, guys. Tonight we've got another very important topic for men and dads to understand when it comes to relationships. So this is again focusing on one of the 6 P's of dadhood, passion, which is so key. And we pulled a number of topics out of this book called The Way of the Superior Man by David Deida.
I think it's Deida. We'll say Deida. When
Yeah,
we get him on the
say
show,
Deida.
we'll confirm.
Exactly. And this chapter is number 22. It's don't force the feminine to make decisions. And I've been trying this out in my life, and it's been noticeably improving my relationship. I can actually feel the difference, and I can sense the difference in how my wife is responding to me, and it's pretty remarkable. So I'm gonna just highlight the whole concept here, and then we'll get into some discussion. So basically the concept is that the masculine trait is actually decision making. And when we do not offer that masculine trait to our wife, who is presumably the feminine, then we're withholding our gift to them, and it forces them to actually bring that masculine trait forward. Okay, so, and that could be temporarily an okay thing, that they're making decisions and holding those decisions, that sort of thing. But if we're constantly withholding that, then they're actually not going to trust us, because we're not producing, or bringing forward that masculine value that we can bring to the table. And it can really influence a lot of things. So the whole concept is to, when your woman is asking for your opinion, you give your opinion. And that's really what it boils down to. You give your opinion when she asks for it, and there's a way to do it, but just making sure that you do it. So Scott, do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, you've sort of really summarized the whole thing very, very well, but I think let's break it down a little bit. So generally speaking, men are masculine, women are feminine, but we can be either. But the thing about it is if we want more passion in our relationships, we need to have a polarity, right? So if we're being in our masculine, they're being in their feminine, awesome, right? You might get a home run tonight, right? You might knock it out of the park tonight in the bedroom if you are both in your opposite polarities and creating that polarity, that sexual attraction, which I've never had. I don't think, Ev, have you ever had a buddy of yours tell you that they are getting too much sex?
I've thought that one of my buddies was getting too much sex, because he was getting way more than I was.
That's a little different, but yeah, totally.
Yeah.
But he didn't say that, did he?
No, he was quite happy
No.
with where he was
Yeah,
at.
Exactly. So God, This is what it's all about, right? And so polarity is really important. And one of the masculine traits is decision making. Now, there's a big difference as well, I think, that Evan had mentioned, is that, like, when we're talking about making decisions, we're not saying, tell your wife what to do. That's a whole other scenario. We're not saying, like, you just be the man and tell your wife what to do. That ain't going to work either. The difference is is when they ask your opinion. And I got a great example of what I do, and it drives my wife nuts. And I didn't realize that this is why it drove her nuts. And I'm going to help to change it, because this is just something I realized myself. But when she asks your opinion, and it's so common, guys, and I see it all the time as well, it's like, yeah, whatever, it's good. Like,
Whatever
I
you
don't
want,
care.
honey.
Whatever you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Whatever you want, honey.
My exact example in my life is, what do you want for dinner tonight? Oh, whatever. Like, you can choose. You're a great cook. It doesn't work out well ever. And I was like, why she get mad at me for not, like, I don't care. She's pickier than I am when it comes to food, or like, more selective, I'll say, rather than picky. So I really don't care. But when they're asking an opinion, give it, right?
Yeah.
But then
you suddenly start to care, because
because you're actually answering the question.
Yeah, you're answering the question, and you're maintaining the polarity in the relationship. Because if you don't, then you are actually potentially harming your established polarity, and you'll end up just being friends. And that's not what most men are looking for in a partner. They're not looking for a housemate. They're looking for somebody they can be intimate with, right? And yeah, that answering that question actually is the groundwork for maintaining the polarity. So as Scott said, like, when she asks you the question, your opinion, you give it, and you can end off like my wife will ask me, so what do you think I should wear tonight, this or this? And I'm like, boom, that one. That's one I think, but I know you're going to pick what you feel's best for you. So I'm leaving it open that she's going to make a great decision. And actually, David in the book talks about how the feminine can actually, because they're more in tune with the feeling around making a decision. And so that feeling could change from moment to moment, whereas a man is more like decisive, and they'll like make the decision and stick with it, that kind of thing. And that's the difference between the two. And he said often, like, because of the feminine having that feeling connection, they often make the better decision. So it's not like we're going in there thinking we're making the better decision. Like, still leave it in their court to make the best decision for them, but give your opinion. And that maintains the polarity, and that helps your relationship. I think I kind of cut you off the way, Scott.
No, not at all. I'm just trying to think of, a couple of examples. Definitely in my life, the what do you want for dinner is such a common question. And now I get why it ends up the way it ends up a lot of the time. So, that's a big one. And then like you mentioned with clothes, it's another easy one to just be aware, right? And another big one then, I think, and it stems off from something you said in the pre-show, which I think we're going to do a whole show on, is being on your phone, or just really not being aware or not being present, right? So if the question is asked, if you're doing something, instead of trying to do both, because you know how that goes, multitasking is a myth, and even for women, it's not. You switch back and forth quickly. So if you're trying to do two things here on your phone, whatever, from Facebook to Instagram to playing a game, whatever it is, if you asked a question, and this is not only for passionate relationships, but big time with your kids too, and we're all guilty of it, but I think being aware of it's really important. Is go, if you can't do it, if you need to finish something that you're doing, sending a message or whatever, just go, hold on a sec, let me just finish this message, give me 1 minute, do, turn the phone off, direct your attention at the question, and then answer the question. Because it's really easy to be on your phone and you're messaging and you're like, what do you want for dinner? Whatever, I'm good. And there was no consideration made at all to that answer.
Yeah.
Even though you really don't care.
Yeah.
That's not the point of answering that question. The point of answering that question is creating that polarity in that type of relationship situation. But also then, you know, if it's, say, an answer with your kids, is to create that open awareness to making sure that they know that you're listening.
Absolutely. Like, really, it's been interesting as I've been applying this lesson, is that I noticed that now she's bringing way more to me. Like, she's bringing things that are going on in her life, and she's sharing more now because I've been giving my opinion. I've been giving my input. And it's actually brought us a lot closer together. And I can see that she's more confident and more trusting of me giving my masculine gift. Whereas before, I was really just letting her, like, she has her own business, and I was letting her run her business, and I still do. But I would completely, like, stay away from that. And it was mostly because I didn't want to give my opinion and then her take my advice, and then it goes the wrong way, and then I get blamed for that. That's what I actually thought, and I was completely wrong about that. It's actually, like, if you word it the right way and you say, you know, sounds to me like this is what I would do personally, and then, you know, leave it in her court and be like, you know, I know you're going to do the best thing, you know, for your business. It's amazing how that little bit that you just gave, the difference that makes for them, and that it'll snowball, and she'll start to see you as this decisive, like, you know, masculine figure, because that's the gift of the masculine. And when you withhold that gift, then it forces her to magnify her masculine, and which is can be fine, you know, every now and then. But if you continue doing it, then she's going to become chronically sharp and actually distrustful of you and your abilities. And so that's what really diffuses the polarity. And, you know, I guess a good question to ask is like, is my woman acting like a man? Like, is she super decisive, and is she angular and, like, sharp and all that stuff? Or is she living in her feminine? Is she flowing? Is she in the feeling? Is she, you know, and then every now and then she needs to rely on you to ask you that question so she can move forward and still be in her feminine. Well, be damn sure that you're there and you're listening. Like Scott said, the antennas should go up, because this is your opportunity to help her stay in her feminine. Now, if you want to force her into the masculine and make those decisions, and just be aware that it might be a little bit less intimacy happening, you know, because you're forcing her out of her natural state, assuming she's she's majority, you know, of the feminine, as Scott said. Like, we all have some feminine and some masculine, and if you're a masculine male, you will have attracted a feminine wife, and that's where you would most likely would like her to spend most of her time. So yeah, any further thoughts there, Scott?
Well, only if you want to have more fun in the bedroom. That's all, you know. I mean, if that doesn't matter, then just skip to the next podcast, and we might be talking about something completely different.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, actually, let's take it to the next level, though. Like, you know, women like to have fun just as much as men do, you know, and that's something to remember. So, you know, we're doing us both a favor by keeping that polarity happening. And one of the goals in Daddius is to really help have strong family units. And strong family units happen when mom and dad are happy. You know, they're having that polarity. They're being playful with each other. They're joking around with each other. They're, you know, giving digs every now and then, but they're also, like, affectionate, and, you know, and there's intimacy and all that stuff. that builds a stronger, family unit. But if it's not happening and the polarity is gone where it used to be there, that's the key. Some relationships start and they never did have polarity because they were such a balance of masculine and feminine, both of them, that they never really had that polarity. But if it was there before, and that was what the initial attraction, like that's how it initially happened, the attraction happened with that polarity, but then it's gone, guess what? That's leading down the road of unhappiness, and then somebody might seek out finding it somewhere else, and then more distance occurs and that kind of thing. And so these things, although they seem small, and yeah, we're talking about making a decision or not forcing the feminine to make a decision, it doesn't seem like a big deal. Wow, these little things that we're talking about, they make a huge difference. And definitely check out the other podcasts. We've done a number of chapters from this book, and they are life changing. Like, I'll tell you, like, because of these podcasts, been studying it and applying it, and wow, it's been an absolutely enormous change for the benefit in my life. So definitely recommend going look at the other podcasts, and also join the Daddius Facebook group. Just search Daddius, and you can ask to join the group. And wow, we've got some really incredible group of dads in there. And, we're sharing what's going on. We're sharing, different things, different resources, that kind of thing, on all different types of topics. And so definitely take some time and plug into the Daddiest group and plug into these podcasts. This podcast is for dads that really want to have it all. They want to knock it out of the park with their relationship. They want to have incredible careers, be great breadwinners. They want to, be 10 out of 10 in their health. They want to have, be great dads, all that. That's what this podcast is for, is really to help, those dads that are very conscious and wanting to take it to the next level in all areas of your life. This is what it's for. So definitely pass this on to the other dads in your life that want more.
That sounds like a wrap. Like that's absolutely right with what we're trying to do with this Daddiest movement, is just get a group of guys together who want more. And we all have different strengths and we all have different weaknesses, and we can learn from each other. Myself and Evan will be the first to admit that we don't have it all figured out. We're figuring little bits and pieces out along the way, and the more people that we can get join us in this journey towards better, the better it's going to be for all of us. So as I've said, I think have a look at our Facebook page, but really that it's a way into the group. The group is where the movers and the shakers are, and where things are happening. So check it out. And did you have any closing remarks yourself, Ev? I mean, it sounded like that's what you were getting at, is closing out, and I would agree that that's a great closing message by you. Did you want to add anything else before we see you the next time?
Just one thing: make sure you give your opinion.
Especially when asked.
When you're asked. Absolutely.
That's right.
All right,
awesome.
dads.
See you next episode.
Thanks for listening. Remember, join our Facebook community, Daddius, where conscious dads connect and collaborate.